what I want to share with you today is something that a lot of experts don't talk about. I'm going to share with you strategies that if you implement these strategies in your life, your business is part of your life. So I'm going to say life because some of these are not just business oriented, but by implementing these into your life, I promise you that the reality that you have today in your business will change over time. There is a compound effect to what we do, everything in our life. And what most of us don't realize when we start business is that all of these little steps that seem like nuances, they are nuances, but all of these little things that we do in our life, in our business, over time, they make massive impact. What happens is we get very discouraged, or we are looking for the magic pill, the magic bullet to change things right away, which is false. Okay. But I promise you over time, things will change. Why I'm sharing this is because I realize that I don't share a lot about this frequently. And I want people to understand like the reality of how your business can progress when you follow these strategies. And the thing is these are not your shiny object strategies. Okay. These are things that you can implement throughout your life, throughout your business, no matter what changes on social media or what new platform comes or this or that. Okay. So these are things that you should keep consistent in your life as a business owner. Number one, having an unshakable belief and certainty in what you offer and what you do. If you don't have that, there's no way that your potential clients or your audience or your followers can believe and be certain in you. So if you're not certain in yourself and what you bring to the table and the value that you provide, nobody else is going to be certain either. And that shows also through how you market yourself. So if you market yourself only promoting your offers, that's like a cop out and you're acting like every other car salesman out there. So this starts with this unwavering belief in your value and the transformation that you offer. Inconsistency is showing that you have this uncertainty, because if you're inconsistent in showing up, how can we expect our potential clients to show up for us, right? Number two, conviction in your mission. You have to have conviction in your services, in your values, in your mission and your vision, and not be shy. Like, don't hold back on sharing that. I think that we care so much about what other people think that we have this fear of rejection, but really what you're doing is you're rejecting yourself. Number three is impactful personal branding. And I'm not talking about an impactful logo or fonts or colors, okay? I'm talking about positioning yourself as an expert with conviction by sharing stories, successes, and failures. That is the only way that you are going to connect on a human level and really stand out, especially in the online world. In person, we do this already. We need to transfer that, what we're doing in person, we need to transfer it online. The online world is not what it was even 5 years ago. It is very, very saturated, but it is necessary. And the only way that we can stand out is by having truly impactful personal branding. Number four, consistent expert presence. And what I mean by that is having regular value-driven content that highlights your expertise. So when I mean by highlighting your expertise, I'm talking about the customer journey or the client journey. And it's getting people, to be aware of a problem and be aware of you, then to consider that, okay, maybe they need to think more about how to solve this problem. And that's considering to work with you. And then there's the purchasing stage and then the retention stage. So if you show up with value-driven content that hits people in all of those stages, it's highlighting your expertise because you're putting content out there that's allowing people to understand and also to shift their beliefs of what is possible for them. But this needs to be done consistently. And this is how we, even in slow periods, okay, so even when things are down, we don't just stop showing up. I was having a very down moment internally and personally about a month ago, but I was still showing up. That takes practice. That is a journey. It only happened because I had support, mentorship, and guidance. It didn't happen because I did it on my own. So I cannot take all the credit for any of this, honestly. It can feel like a very lonely game. So putting yourself in the right containers and being in proximity with the right people to help uplift you and you uplift them is tremendously powerful as a business owner. So that was going to be my number 5 is mentorship and proximity in the right containers. Okay. Number 6, strategic daily activities. I'm talking about being very, very intentional about everything that you do in your business. So if you see me posting on social media, I'm not just posting to post just because I want to stay in the algorithm. If I have nothing to say, nothing valuable to post, nothing with intention, I will skip the day. But I typically don't skip the day because I plan ahead and I'm very intentional about what I'm putting out there. There is a specific reason why I do everything that I do. Okay, next one, meaningful engagement. We need to foster genuine connections, not just on social media, but also in person. Okay, so I highly, highly recommend that if you're not in networking communities, both online and in person, that you start to do so or join clubs, fundraising organizations. We need to get out there and we need to be with other people. If we're stuck in our own little bubble, we're going to be stuck in this little bubble. Okay, you're not going to be able to expand your business. So that is something that should also be a part of your business. But with engagement too, have conversations with people, guys. And when you're online on social media specifically, engage intentionally with people that you want to connect with because you think that they would be valuable for your business or vice versa. And it doesn't just mean like ideal clients. It could be ideal referral partners or people to collaborate with. Okay. Have conversations with them. Nurturing your leads to sales. You must have a system that transitions people from prospects to finally paying you. Okay. So this is really going to involve understanding people's needs, offering value, guiding them through a sales process. I'm going to give you a quick example. I offer a complimentary 30-minute brand audit call. That call, I am providing value to you. I'm actually giving you personalized tips on where there are gaps in your marketing. On that call, I'm giving you personalized tips. It's on Zoom. I record it. You can get the recording if you want it. I truly spend time in looking at your social media profiles, your content, and you're able to ask any questions and pick my brain for 30 minutes. It's a free 30-minute strategy call or coaching call or mentorship call, right? Now, if it makes sense because you're telling me, I just don't know how to do this, how do I go about that? If it makes sense, I may offer you information on how to work with me. If I don't feel like it makes sense for you at the moment, I may not even make an offer to you. That is one of my processes. When I do my master classes or my workshops, I do offer another type of call, right? That's another type of process. When you provide a lead magnet, that is a process. You want people to opt in to your lead magnet. They sign up for something. Now they're in your email nurture sequence. Don't stop there. Connect with them. Make sure, somehow, and there's ways to do this in your opt-in forms, but either get a phone number or, maybe you want to, once they sign up for your lead magnet, they then move into a Facebook group. There's so many different ways to do this, but I see so many people just leaving people hanging. Same thing with your social media posts. If somebody comments, even like a one-word comment on something, comment back, respond back to them, and then send them a personal message and say, hey, thank you so much for your comment on my post about blank. So I'm really curious, what made you comment on that, right? Just find out. You never know. They could really have an interest in your business. So nurture leads. And from there, it can progress to sales. Next one, really understanding your client journey. Okay, so you want to map out your client journey from the time that they discover who you are. And this can be done as a mind map where you have boxes and then arrows and, somebody just connects with you and then they move to this step and then to this step. These are also kind of known as pipelines, but it's a fun project and you can do this different ways. You can just sketch it out, write it. I love using Miro. Miro is a fun one, and they have templates to make it really easy. You can do this in Canva. So having this visual really works, but understand your client journey so that you know, okay, when somebody first connects with me on, let's just say Facebook, for example, what are the next options that they have to move to the next step, and understand that journey. You also create these types of journeys when you're creating your course or program. But for that, it's a little different because you're going to do it based off of the solution that you provide, based off of their pain points and their struggles. Next, an effective sales strategy. Your calls, so that you set boundaries, but they are successful calls. And a successful call is not always a yes. A successful call could actually be a call that allows you to understand that that is not your perfect client. Yeses are not always perfect. So having a effective sales strategy call, being consultative, focusing on the needs of your prospects, offering solutions, and then guiding them towards making a decision that benefits them, not that benefits you. That's why I said many times, I don't even make offers when I'm on a call with someone, right? Because when we're on a call, I'm asking a lot of questions so that I can get a better understanding of your situation. If you're telling me that you are just starting out your business, typically, because I will say I do work with some ladies that they're not new to business, they're not new to their expertise. But if you're brand new to your expertise, I am not going to talk to you about our incubator program, right? It doesn't make sense. So understanding that whole sales strategy process for yourself is really, really important. Authenticity and transparency is a huge one. Be real about what you can deliver and maintain transparency in what you do. This is going to build trust, and be real also in how you're showing up. That's a big one. Next one is being accountable and being able to adapt. Look, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and it's not working, it's time to change it, right? Times are different. And honestly, things change so much. I'm also a meta ads strategist, and give me 30 days. 30 days from now, there's going to be some new things that I need to learn and be trained on, right? So we have to be able to adapt and to understand that things change. The world changes. We have to adapt with things that are changing and how things are progressing. And that's okay. We don't want things to stay stagnant, right? But we also have to hold ourselves accountable to our business goals and be willing to adapt new strategies as we learn, and learn from our failures, which I don't believe are really failures. If you don't fail, you're not actually going to get better. I have failed multiple times in my business. Understanding the compound effect, that's a huge awareness to have, is to acknowledge that there is a result of cumulative efforts over time. Those small, consistent actions that you take daily are going to build up to significant results. Resilience through ups and downs is another huge one. We have to have that resilience. We have to understand there are going to be setbacks in parts of your journey, and there are still going to be setbacks even when you reach certain levels in your business. We all have the same challenges, just in different capacities. There have been moments in my own business when things have fallen apart, or they have felt like they have fallen apart, where I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my team? And I was already making multiple six-figure years. Okay. So it's all about capacity. Client-centric offer creation. There are many of you, and I know because I did it too, but I'm going to tell you what, I did not have my coaching business ready for me to be creating any sort of course at that time. But I invested a few $1,000s to create a course. The first time I launched it, I got 0 people. And what I realized was I was not doing some of the foundations that I needed to do for me to be at the point where it made sense for me to sell a course. And part of that was that I was not developing my offer based on my clients' pain points, based on what people were telling me. I was creating my offer based on what I think they needed. And that's why having some one-on-one clients is very beneficial, because when you have one-on-one clients, then you can understand what the masses within your niche really want, right? So having a client-centric offer creation is really, really important. Whether it's a course, one-on-one, it really doesn't matter, but I just thought of the whole course thing because I've been there. We talked about business evolution. As your client base grows, you can expect your business to evolve. New things pop up. Things change. Like our agency, for example, when we started our agency in 2009, it is completely different than it was back then. Be mindful of trends and evaluate them. We have to stay conscious of why trends may tempt you and recognize when they're distracting you from genuine opportunities. So if you are spending time building a funnel rather than having conversations with people that you could serve and make an impact, that is not being mindful. Okay. And again, it's part of that being intentional with the time that you spend doing things and what you are spending time on. Okay. So we got to be really mindful about trends. You're going to get a lot of shiny object syndrome. I still get it sometimes. Okay. So just evaluating where you're spending your time with trends. The next one is delegating. Delegation is a growth strategy. Now, when you're first starting out, this is going to be a little more difficult, right? But you want to think of your business as an investment and you want to be a CEO. Okay. This is not a hobby. At least not for me. It's not. So when I realized that if I gave someone else $10 an hour to create Canva images for me, rather than me sitting for 2 hours, because I love Canva, I could stay there all day long. That is a distraction. If I'm on Canva, it's because I'm avoiding doing something that I should be doing because I actually love it. Now, it doesn't come that easy, right? So for me, I have this artistic flair. I've always been very artistic. So I love that kind of stuff. But when I realized that my time and money was better spent by paying somebody else $10 or even $15 an hour to create Canva images for me, or to do this, in my business, or that in my business, create a funnel for me. And for that, maybe it's a little bit more. But when you understand that delegating is a growth strategy, you're going to understand that your best time is spent on high value rituals, not on doing these tasks that are really not your forte, like creating a website, for example. That's another one that I see so many entrepreneurs waste so much time on, right? Power of mentorship, which I already talked about, but I can't stress enough. Like, honestly, it cannot be done alone. If you are doing business alone without a mentor or a guide or in some sort of container where you have people supporting you and you supporting others, you are going to, and I know this because I spent my first few years spinning my wheels and wasting a lot of money on recorded programs without somebody to actually guide me through them. You will spin your wheels. You're going to invest and waste. It's not even an investment. You're going to waste more money and you're going to be in the same place. You're not going to move forward. It's a fact. What I'm sharing with you is, like I said in the beginning, the successful people that most of us follow, these are the things that they have done. And there are some risks involved. There's always risk involved in business. Elevating your business circle, which is also part of, being in the right containers in proximity. Stepping into leadership is a big one. Recognizing that your role, not just a business owner, but as a visionary leader. So if you aspire to be seen as this go-to expert and solution for others, you must step into that leadership role. And stepping into that leadership role is by being bold, authentic, unapologetic, sharing your success stories, sharing your challenges, sharing case studies, all those things that we talk about. That's part of it. Okay. And then the last one I'm going to give you is block scheduling. And so block scheduling, one of the days of the week, you're going to create a title for a live video show. Promote your live video show on another day of the week. And then on another day of the week, you're actually going to go live, and you're going to do that 4 weeks every week. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.